We'll start with the long tail cast on. I recommend that you get about 6 feet of tail for this cast on because it is a large number of stitches. So in order to make a slip knot, go ahead and make a twist and then pull up a loop of yarn, just like that. I have a video specifically on the long tail cast on, but I'll just go over it for you here because we're going to do these Legwarmers together. Alright, so putting your fingers through like that. There we go. Bringing the needle down. The needle comes under, under, and through. And like I said, if you're not sure how to do this cast on, there is a more in-depth video teaching you how to do it. Make sure that you're not casting on too tight, okay, that you're not pulling down like that. It does not need to be tight. Just up to the needle, like that. Here's a fun tip about casting on. It doesn't matter whether the tail or the working yarn is in your thumb or your forefinger. So if you put it down, you don't remember, which one was which, it really doesn't matter. A lot of people ask me, which one goes where? Nope, doesn't matter. Alright, so keep on casting on until you have 42 stitches. When you've got 42 stitches on your needle, go ahead and trim any leftover tail that you have. Mine came out okay, so I'm just going to leave it, but trim it to about 6 inches, and we're ready to start following the chart. So looking in the bottom right-hand corner, with the right side, here we are, it just says knit, 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 all the way across. So that's what we're going to do. Of course, you can do this American style. I'm going to demonstrate the knitting part just continental style. And here's another trick. I like to knit my cast on row through the back loops. See how much easier that is? Instead of coming in here like that. That is just a trick. That's why I'm doing that, through the back loops. But I'll be demonstrating all the cables for you American and continental style so that you don't get confused. So here you are, just working all across the row. Alright, I've finished knitting all the way across my row. There's the first row. Next step, highlight that first row with your highlighter so that you know that it's done. Now for the next row, I mentioned in the earlier video, it's not marked on here. Row 2 is not marked, we're just going to work even. Which means, looking at our work, since we knitted all across this side, we look at the back, these are all purl stitches. And here's an interesting note, see how they have this sort of horizontal bar across the front? That is why purl stitches are symbolized with this horizontal line, because that's what they look like, right? There's the bump. So, everywhere you see one of these, let's see, make sure the yarn is in front, since we're purling. Everywhere you see a purl stitch, which is going to be all the way across the row, go ahead and purl it. All the way across. These first few rows are pretty easy. They can sort of get your fingers warmed up and ready for the cabling, because let me tell you, as soon as we hit that cable chart, we're going to be learning a lot. Alright, I've gotten to the end of the first purling row, or row number 2. Let's turn this around. So there's no need to mark anything off on your chart. You can't mark anything anyway since row number 2 is not on here. But you'll know that it's done because you'll be able to tell which side is the right side and which side is the wrong side. So speaking of that, if you have trouble distinguishing the right side and the wrong side, let's look at this other leg warmer here. Here, this is the wrong side of it. It actually is a little confusing. So there's the wrong side, there's the right side. It's a little bit hard to tell at the beginning. So what you can do is just mark the right side of your work with a marker. Just stick it into your knitting anywhere on the front, and then write a little note on your pattern that you've put a marker on the right side. That way you won't ever have to wonder. Alright, so row number 3 says that we do it all again, right? One whole row of knit stitches all the way across, and then of course working back across, working even across row number 4.